Chapter 13.
Light and shadow.
Close your eyes for 5 minutes. How do you feel? Does the darkness makes you feel uncomfortable? Have you ever tried to find your way around in darkness? Absence of light makes our life very difficult. Let us know some interesting things about light.
Objects, luminous and non-luminous. Most objects we see around us do not produce their own light. We see them because they reflect light that is hitting them from elsewhere. Objects that emit their own light are called luminous objects. Examples: electric bulb, candle, and the sun. Objects that have no light of their own are called non-luminous objects. Examples: book, tree, and the moon. There are some living things that can emit light. The production of light by living things is called bioluminescence. Examples: fireflies, lanternfish, and glowworm. Materials and light.
Light is a form of energy. When light falls on an object, it may pass through the object or get reflected based on their interaction with light. Materials can be classified as follows.
Materials that do not block light at all are called transparent materials. These materials let light pass through them in straight lines so that we can see clearly through them. Examples: clear glass, clear water, and air. Materials that block light partially are called translucent materials. Examples: paper, colored glass, and oil. Materials that block light completely are called opaque materials. Examples: book, pencil, and table. Shadow.
Do you play shadow games? Have you tried to make shadows of different shapes on the wall?
When there is light, there will be shadow. Anything that faces light casts a shadow behind itself. What actually is a shadow?
A shadow is formed whenever light is blocked by a translucent or opaque object. When an opaque object comes in front of a source of light, the light is not able to pass through it. As a result, the area behind the object remains dark and creates an outline of the object. This is called the shadow of the object. For a shadow to form, there must be a light source, an obstacle, and a surface on which the shadow can be formed. Opaque objects make dark shadows. Translucent objects make faint shadows.
Some rules of shadow formation. A shadow is always formed on the opposite side of the light source. For white light, the shadow is always black in color. The shadow formed is just the outline of the obstacle. A colored shadow is formed when two or more colored lights fall on an obstacle from different directions. If an object is moved closer to the light source, the shadow gets bigger. If an object is moved farther away from the light source, the shadow gets smaller. The size of a shadow depends on the distance between the source of light and the obstacle, distance between the obstacle and the surface on which the shadow falls. Through a day, the size of the shadow keeps changing in size. The sun casts the longest shadow at the beginning and end of the day.
This is the time when the sun is at the horizon. It casts the shortest shadows at midday. This is when the sun is just above our head.